"Get out, you parasite." My husband yelled these harsh words as he kicked me in the stomach while I was lying down, exhausted from taking care of our child. He used to be so kind and caring, but after we got married and had a child, everything changed. He kept making excuses, like being busy with work or tired, and never helped with the child rearing. He even called me a parasite and acted like a tyrant. I wanted divorce. I fought, but I couldn't bring myself to do it given my current situation. One day, I met my former boss and got some valuable information. With the support of those around me, I finally decided to take revenge on my husband. My name is Kate. I'm 40 years old and a stay-at-home mom. I live in an apartment with my husband, John, and our son, Tom. It might seem like we are a happy family with a child, but the truth is, it's far from that. Since we had a child, I've been struggling and suffering because of John. We met at a party. When I was 34, I worked in an office, and my coworkers dragged me to the party. I was drinking quietly on the edge of my seat, thinking to myself, I can't go to a blind date at 34. It was my current husband who spoke to me. He had also been dragged there, so we hit it off and started dating. After a few years, we got married. For a while, we enjoyed our double-income life as a couple. One day, while living like that, he said, "Hey Kate, isn't it about time?" "To do what?" I asked. "A child." "Don't you think it's time for us to have a child?" John asked. My husband asked me for advice about having children. I wasn't really into the idea. I liked my job and wanted to keep working, and I wasn't sure I had the confidence to raise a child. At first I was against it, but my husband said, "Please, of course I'll do it right," and I was overwhelmed by the pressure. Looking back, this might have been when I started to mistrust him. After a while, I got pregnant. I quit my job and became a stay-at-home mom, and soon, I gave birth to a healthy baby boy named Tom. A few years later, Tom grew into a lively 3-year-old. I was happy for him, but he was a bit naughty and a bit of a handful, perhaps because he was a boy. Lately, he has been having trouble sleeping at night. But my other problem, that's my husband. Before I had the baby, you said, "I'll do it right, too," but when the baby was born, you didn't do anything for me. In the beginning, they would help me if I asked. But lately, "Hey, take care of Tom once in a while." What? Why? I'm tired from work. You just lounge around at home all the time, so it's only right that you do it. When I asked him to watch Tom on his day off, he'd say, "No way, it's my day off. Let me relax. It's our 2 kids, so you should take care of them too." But he'd respond, "Who do you think brings in the money? I'm working my tail off so we can live." Don't talk back, you leech. It's true that we could live because of John's job, but it didn't give him the right to treat me like this. I couldn't say much more when he used the work card. I lived with his constant sarcasm, thinking I had to endure it because he was the breadwinner. "Kate, they are here." "Oh, hi, Mom, thanks for coming." "It's okay. I wanted to see my grandson anyway." I invited my mom over to my apartment today. Since I'd been handling childcare on my own, I asked her to help for the day because I was getting burnt out. By the way, Tom's gotten so big now. "Oh, I have something for you, Kate." "What is it?" She pulled out a small camera from her bag. "It's a baby monitor. You can put it in Tom's room or something, so you can check on him if something happens." "I really can't accept this. You don't even live nearby, Mom." "Too late, I've already bought it, so take it." So my mother forced me to give her a camera to watch over me. So I reluctantly accepted the baby monitor and set it up in Tom's room. That night, I'm home. Welcome back. My husband came home from work around 6 p.m. My husband came home from work and quickly changed into his regular clothes and looked ready to go somewhere. "Hey, where are you going? Why do you care? You could at least tell me where you're going." "Ugh, it's such a hassle. I'm going to play some slots." Again. Lately, John had gotten hooked on slot machines. He went once with his coworkers and got a taste for it. I didn't mind if he had a hobby, but he spent so much money on it that our budget was in serious trouble. It's okay to have hobbies, but please don't spend too much money. We still have Tom to think about. What's it to you? Are you saying we don't have enough money? That's because you can't manage the budget. And so what if we have Tom? You're home all day, so you can do whatever you want, but I work every day and can't even enjoy a hobby. I earn the money, so I should be able to spend it how I want." He stormed out toward the front door, but then he glanced into Tom's room. When I was truly disgusted with my husband who only thought of himself, my husband was unusually peeking into Tom's room. "What's wrong? What's with the camera thing on the shelf?" "Oh, it's a baby monitor. My mom gave it to me." "Huh. Even your mom is bothered by you." "Well, you bet not ask her for help." With that, husband left the house. I agreed with him on the camera part. I had no intention of relying on my mom even if something happened. But I didn't know how much trouble this camera would cause later. One day. 37.8. Since yesterday, Tom has had a fever, and I, who had been nursing him with me, also had a fever. "Hey, John." "What?" "I'm sorry, but Tom's fever infected me too. Could you take a day off?" "What? You think I can just take a day off without warning?" "Yeah, sorry. But can you at least come home early today?" "I told you, I can't. I'm busy at work. And it's your fault for not taking care of Tom better. You brought it on yourself." He slammed the door and went to work. Tom has a fever, but his body seems to be completely fine, and he is running around the house energetically. I had caught a cold, and I was already sleep deprived, so I was feeling weak. I still had to take care of Tom and do all the housework, because I didn't know what John would say if I didn't. In the evening, Tom finally took his nap. "All right, time to get dinner ready." That's what I thought, but suddenly I felt all my strength leave me, and I collapsed, falling asleep right there. The next thing I heard was my husband's yelling. "Hey! Get up! Are you listening to me?" What is it?" Finally awake. "You've been lounging around at home all day, and now we're taking a nap. What a great life." "No, it's not that. I'm feeling sick, just like I told you this morning." "Stop making excuses. I told you this morning, it's your fault for not taking care of yourself. You just laze around all day, and you can't even manage basic chores." Then my husband said, "Ouch. Hey. What are you doing?" He kicked me in the stomach as I was lying down. Many times, too. "Stop it," I shouted, but he didn't listen. Finally, he stopped and said, "I'm going out to eat, so you'd better get this place sorted by the time I get back." Then husband left the house. Why does he treat me like this? Just because I'm home all day doesn't mean I'm lying around doing nothing. I'm taking care of our 3-year-old son and doing all the housework for him, too. Even with all that, he still calls me a leech just because I'm at home. I'd had enough. With tears streaming down my face, I decided I'm going to divorce this man. However, neither my husband or I knew at this time. A certain person was watching this situation. After deciding to get a divorce, I got straight to work on the preparations. To leave him, I'd need to make sure I could support Tom on my own. I'd been a stay-at-home mom for a long time, and my husband didn't earn that much. He spent a lot of money on slot machines, and we didn't have much in savings. I needed to get Tom into daycare so I could start working and save some money. But another rejection. Reality, it seems, does not work that way. Despite applying to every single daycare center in the vicinity of his home, he was unsuccessful in all of them. I can't go to work as it is. My dad needed full-time care, and my mom was taking care of him, so I couldn't turn to them for help. At this rate, I couldn't even leave the house, let alone get a divorce. Feeling lost, I took Tom out for some grocery shopping. On the way to the store, I ran into someone I didn't expect to see. "Is that you?" "Camila. Is that really you?" "This person is Camila." It was Camila, my old boss. "Long time no see." "Yay, it's been a while. How have you been?" "Oh, this is your kid. He's adorable. Say, why don't we grab a coffee and catch up?" I agreed, and we headed to a nearby cafe. It's been ages. "So, how's family life treating you? You must be loving it with the little one." Camila asked me about my family. I hesitated for a moment, but I always used to confide in her, so I decided to be honest. "Actually, it's not all that great. I'm thinking about getting a divorce." I told Camila that I was planning a divorce and explained the reasons why. Camila was surprised but kind enough to listen to me. "Got it. So you're trying to find a daycare for your son and a job, right? Yay, but I can't seem to find either. About that, we could use some extra help at work. If you're interested, Kate, would you consider coming back to work? I could talk to my boss and see what I can do. And if you're worried about childcare, I know a babysitter who could help. Well, I really appreciate that, but it's too much. Don't worry about it. I'm not asking you to decide right away. Just let me know if you change your mind. Since I still had to make dinner before my husband came home, I ended the conversation and left with Tom. Though I felt guilty about accepting such help, I felt much more relaxed after hearing such useful information. Yeah, I'm home. After the shopping was done, I arrived home. We had tea at a cafe on the way, so we got back a little late. After taking off Tom's shoes, I was shocked by what I saw in the living room. What are you doing here? I saw my mom, who wasn't supposed to be here, sitting on a chair and crying. What happened? What's wrong? It's not what's wrong, I sighed. I saw John kick you in the stomach. She explained that she had been watching the baby monitor after I got sick because she was worried. She saw John come home and kick me in the stomach, so she quickly arranged for my dad to go to a day center and rushed over. The baby monitor was in Tom's room, but the door was slightly open, and my mom could see what happened through the crack. Kate, things aren't going well between you and John, are they? I had kept quiet because I didn't want to cause trouble, but there was no point in hiding anything now. I told her how John refused to help with child care and had a history of emotional abuse. I was sure that she would say, "Why didn't you tell me this earlier?" when I told her this, but my mother did not say that and listened to my story, nodding her head silently. After I'd finished, she said, "I'm proud of you for holding on this long." She gently rubbed my back, and I burst into tears at her kindness. After I'd cried my heart out, I asked her for advice. I've decided to get a divorce, but I can't find a daycare for Tom. I know you already have to take care of Dad, and it's a lot to ask, but I can't find any other daycare that will take him. What should I do? Don't worry, I can take care of Tom. I'm planning to move your dad to a facility soon, so it'll work out. Are you sure? I feel bad asking you to take care of both. It's fine. I'm sure your dad will understand. Besides, I can't just stand by when my daughter is going through such a tough time. Thank you, Mom. Thus, all the problems I had in my divorce were resolved at once. It's kind of a thumping progress, but maybe God has rewarded me for all the hard work I've put in. With my job and Tom's placement resolved, I was finally ready to move forward with the divorce in earnest. The first thing I did was to get my stuff in order to move into my parents' house. I also told Tom, "Say goodbye to Dad. We'll be living with Grandma from now on," I told him. Tom was still small and did not seem to understand the meaning of the word, but he seemed excited about his new life. Frankly, it was very difficult to prepare for the divorce in addition to housework and childcare. But my mother came often while my husband was away and helped me with many things. And little by little I sent my belongings to my parents' house. We also contacted Camila and made arrangements for her to return to work safely. Finally, the day came. Have a good day. After sending John off to work, I began the final preparations. "Okay, Mom, you can come out now." My mom had stayed overnight to help. John usually stuck to the living room, bathroom, and his bedroom, so I had my mom sleep in Tom's room. I was worried John might find out, but since he never helped with the kids, he never went into Tom's room and didn't notice anything. He is a stupid man to not even notice that my and Tom's things are gradually decreasing from the house, and even more so that my mother was staying over. With my mom's help, we packed everything into the car, and I arranged for movers to take it to my parents' place. Thanks for helping, Mom. Are you sure you'll be okay? Maybe I should come with you. I know you're worried, but don't be. I'll take care of it. With that, my mom took Tom and headed back to my parents' house. I packed up all of my husband's clothes and belongings into boxes and sent them to a certain place, waiting for him to get home from work. I'm home. Welcome back. Huh. What's with the outfit? You usually wear that old gray sweatsuit. Are you going somewhere? I take care of my husband's luggage while listening to his usual sarcasm. My husband, who knew nothing about it, walked into the living room as usual. What is this? Hey. What the heck is going on? All he saw was an empty room, no furniture, nothing. He rushed to check his bedroom, Tom's room, the bathroom, and the toilet. Hey, what's going on? Where is everything? Of course, it wasn't just the living room that was empty. Every room, the bathroom, and the toilet were completely bare. My stiff's gone, Tom's gone. Hey, explain this to me. Can't you tell? I'm terminating the lease and moving out. Moving out? Why did you do that without telling me? I can do whatever I want. I'm the one who signed the lease, remember? No, right. So where's the new place? Tom must be there. I need to go get him. You can't leave him alone. New place? You don't have a new place. What? Yeah, of course. Because I'm divorcing you. Divorcing? Are you nuts? You don't even work. How do you plan to raise Tom without a job? Forget it. You're the crazy one. I got my old job back. And I found someone to watch Tom, so there's nothing to worry about. No, you're the crazy one. If you divorce me, you'll have to pay me alimony. You've been living off me. You have to pay for my support. You can't even afford it. Are you really going through with this divorce? Huh. I was too stunned to say anything. He actually thought he was in a position to demand alimony. I took out my phone and played some recordings. It was a series of morally harassing remarks that my husband had ever unleashed on me. Do you still think you're getting alimony after hearing this? If you're worried about money, I think you're the one with the problem. You spend all your cash on slots, PFFT. This could be AI generated or something. This isn't proof. Unless you have video evidence, it's meaningless. I do have video. What? I showed him the footage from the day he kicked me in the stomach. How do you have this? Wait, don't tell me. Yep. Remember that baby monitor I told you about? It recorded everything. My mom saw it in real time. Do you still think you can get out of this? Unbelievable. He finally realized he was in serious trouble, and his face turned pale. It's a nice feeling. Well, isn't it about time? Just then, his phone rang. He answered it cautiously, and I heard a voice yell, "What do you think you're doing?" It was his mom on the line. In fact, after seeing my mother and Tom off, I sent my husband's belongings to his parents' house. She then contacted her husband's mother and told her what had happened. I also told her that I would be talking about divorce today and asked her to call my husband when the time was right. From there, preaching time went on for a while. I heard it all from Kate. I saw the recordings and videos. What's with that attitude? The only reason you're able to work and stay healthy is that Kate does everything at home, and you don't even appreciate her. I didn't praise you to be like this. Listen to Kate and get back here. And just like that, my husband was about to be dragged back to his parents' house. During the scolding, my husband was like a robot with its battery drained, silently listening without saying a word. So, can you just sign the divorce papers and leave quickly? With that, my husband silently signed the divorce papers and left the house without saying anything. This finally put an end to our life together. I then left the apartment and headed to my parents' house. To ensure my husband wouldn't come there, I consulted with the police and got a restraining order. I submitted the recordings I had accumulated and the footage from the camera as evidence, which suggested he could even be arrested under certain circumstances. I communicated with my husband through a lawyer. My husband said, "I want you to annul the divorce and start over. I'll do my best next time, and I'll never do anything like that again. So please forgive me, but I have been treated so badly that I don't want to have anything to do with it again." I firmly said, "I will never go back to you, and I want no further contact," and made him agree to pay alimony and child support. After leaving the apartment, my husband quietly went to his parents' house. His parents' house was quite far from his workplace, which forced him to quit his job since he couldn't commute. His beloved gambling was no longer possible either, as his mother took over managing his finances. Regarding work, the rumor of my husband's behavior had spread among our neighbors in the apartment, which eventually reached his workplace, so it was only a matter of time before he would have had to resign anyway. "All right, I'm off to work now. Please take good care of Tom. Don't worry. Come Tom, let's play with Grandma." I successfully returned to work, and thanks to my welcoming colleagues, the work environment was very comfortable. Tom quickly grew attached to my mother and is happily living each day. I really feel blessed by the people around me. I'm determined to repay the kindness of those who have supported me as I continue to move forward.